So I've been making videos on this channel for about 3.5 years now. I even released a few videos on another channel about 15 years ago. And it's safe to say that even aside from these videos, cars have always been a focal point in my life. Now, I've owned many cars and I've made multiple videos about those cars, from Honda Civics to my S2000 and most recently my 2000 Honda Civic. Now, as much as I personally love cars, and I think a lot of other people do too, there is always the looming downside. From breakdowns and major repairs, these are all things that are generally within your control, but there are also things that aren't. My name is Billy, and this is BILLT.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway.
So before I get into what happened, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the channel. So if you haven't been here before, this is my channel, and it's all things cars, from DIYs to builds, driving clips, and anything else that you guys want to see. Go ahead and drop a comment if there's something that I left out. Also, feel free to check out my other social media on Facebook and Instagram. I'll have links to everything below in the description. So about 11 months ago, I picked up this white 2000 Honda Civic to use as my daily driver and even make some DIY videos. Now, if you haven't had a chance, go back and check out the couple of videos that I released on this car if you want a little bit more background. So all of my plans for this car came to a screeching halt on the way to work a few weeks ago. So to keep it brief, I was driving to work one morning when I stopped at a red light. Didn't think anything of it, but when the light turned green, the guy behind me had inadvertently accelerated and collided with the rear end of my car. So of course the other driver admits his fault, the police report reflects that, and the insurance company was inclined to agree. That being said, despite not being at fault, I still had to figure out how and if I could get my car repaired. So because the damage does not really seem that bad, but this is a unibody car and there is damage to the quarter panel, it is going to take some time and effort to get this car fixed. Now, unfortunately, in the eyes of insurance, this car is not as valuable as you might see on the open market. And of course, if the cost to fix the car exceeds the value of the car, they're going to total it. Now, ironically, this is not my first rodeo with insurance, as my first two Civics were actually also totaled. So if you're not super familiar with how the whole insurance thing works in this scenario, there are basically three values that are important. So number one is the fair market value of your car, which for all intents and purposes in this scenario is not super important, but it does help to know what that is in order for you to make an informed decision. Number two is going to be the value according to your insurance company. Now, insurance works on actuarials, and they basically have a book value for every car, and it's fairly non-negotiable, assuming that the car is stock. You can get into a little bit of it when it starts getting into aftermarket parts and modifications and stuff like that, but nowadays you usually have to claim that early or ahead of time. And number three, of course, is the cost of repairs. Now, this is usually determined by some sort of adjuster or a body shop or somebody of that nature. Once you have an understanding of all three values, you can go ahead and make a decision as to how you want to proceed with the car. So let's say your car is similar to mine, and we'll call the fair market value around $5,000. And let's also say that the insurance company values this car around $3,000. So for this exercise, let's go ahead and put the cost of repairs around $4,000. Now in this case, the insurance company would go ahead and deem this a total loss. So in my case, this was about what my situation was, give or take a few $100s here or there. So what's next? Where does that leave us? So for myself, I have a lot more options because I do work on the car, and there are some other things that I can do with it as well, but for most people, you have a couple of options from here. The first option is pretty straightforward. You basically just take the money and you move on. You either go find another car, you put it towards something else, or whatever. Basically, you will get the value of your car minus any deductibles. In my case, the other party being at fault, their liability would cover my deductible, and I would basically get the value of the car, and that would be the end of that. So the second option is to actually take less money and keep the car. Now, in actuality, you are taking the same amount of money and then you're just buying the car back, but the only caveat to that would be that the car is at a reduced value and it will come with a salvage title. So one thing I do want to note is that it is actually illegal to drive a salvage title vehicle in Georgia, or at least to register it. So if you have seen my other videos, you might know that my S2000 was originally a salvage title and I did have to go through a lengthy rebuild process in order to properly title it and drive it here in Georgia. So the third option is to just not go through insurance at all. This is a good option for a few reasons. If you're concerned about a salvage title, a total loss, any of those scenarios, or if you're in a situation where the car is not very valuable or you have a high deductible and you don't think you're going to get a lot of insurance money anyway, if any at all. Now, despite all the possibilities, there's really only one option that stands out for me in my scenario, and that's to buy the car back and take a reduced value. So if I'm taking the money and keeping the car, that means I'll end up with a salvage title and a couple of options. So my first option is to rebuild the car. There's no doubt in my mind that with the money that I get from insurance and based on what the estimate was and what the damage is, I can 100% rebuild it. Of course, if I do rebuild the car, I'll likely go through the rebuild title process as well and then either sell or keep the car. Now, if you haven't seen my old video in my S2000 where I go through the process, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. Now, the next option is pretty straightforward, and that would be to just sell the car as is. Of course, it would have to be for the right offer because there is some value in keeping it myself, and that brings me to my next option. So now we get to the third and what I feel is the most likely option, and that is turning it into a parts car. Now, with a parts car, I can either sell the parts, especially if I have no use for them, or I can keep some of them and use them for myself. So parting the car out is actually beneficial for many reasons. So the value of the individual parts often exceeds the value of the entire car. Now, there's always value in a running and driving vehicle, but a lot of times if you add up all the individual parts and what you can get for them on the free market, you actually can make a lot more money parting the car out. And for those of you that haven't been following along and watching my previous videos, then you may not know that I have a fairly stripped down 95 Civic hatchback that might be in need of a powertrain as well as a few other parts, and I may be able to use parting this car out as a way to get this car up and running again. Either way, I haven't committed to any solution yet, but I am starting to lean towards using some of these parts from the white car to go ahead and get the green car running. Having a known good power plant will allow me to troubleshoot some other stuff on the car and isolate some variables that might have affected me in the future. So if you watch the video this far, go ahead and drop a comment on either what you would do or what you think I should do. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.